Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. This second Wednesday, we'll be studying from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and our page will be page number, English page 856, 857, and of course Bengali is 926. So let us begin with the stotra. Tavo kathamritam tapta jivanam kobibhirilitam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatam bhuvi grinanti e bhuri rajanaha. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was talking with the devotees, and it was October 22nd, 1885, a few months before he is passing away. So he was not keeping well. The doctors were visiting, different devotees, they were also coming. And Sri Ramakrishna mentioned, as last week we have discussed, he mentioned addressing the Ishan, the blessed indeed is the householder who perform his duties in the world at the same time and cherishing the love for the lotus feet of God. Lotus feet of God. That is, he has a devotion for God. At the same time, he is maintaining all his responsibilities, performing his duties. So that is a devotee. And then discussion was going on. One can live in the world after acquiring love of God. It is like breaking the jackfruit after rubbing your hands with oil. The sticky juice of the fruit will not smear them. The world is like water and the mind is like milk. If you put milk in water, it will mix with the water. But if first you keep the milk in a quiet place and let it turn into yogurt, and then form the yogurt into butter, then butter you may keep in water, it will not mix with the water but will float on it. This is a unique example that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gave. This world has 5 different attractions. What are that pancha? 5 the attractions: rupa, the form; rasa, the taste; shabda, the sound; sparsha, the touch; and the taste. Now these 5 things are constantly attracting us towards this world, and we are getting involved into that and thinking that these are our life. It is not. They are attracting us, that thinking, we think that we will get joy out of it. We go and see some forms, some figures, and we think, oh, if I also could become like that, I try to be like that. And ultimately, for what? Joy, happiness. But ultimately, we don't get that. The same way, the touch, the smell, the taste, everything. So these 5 organs of ours and 5 objects of this world going on playing with our mind. If we can understand this, then we can control our sense organs and not allow them to go and mix with these 5 objects. It becomes purified. As Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, first you have to keep the milk and in a quiet place. And otherwise, if you put the milk into water, that means all these indriyas, our organs, are going and mixing with the objects of the world. Then you can never separate it. Milk will get mixed up with the water. So the example that the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is giving, that is, this world is like the water. Now we have a very wonderful thing within us, that is the milk. That milk means the idea, the conception, that we are the source of happiness. But unfortunately, without knowing that, for happiness, we go and mix with these five organs. And when we go and mix with these five organs, five objects, through our five organs, we mixed it up. So Sri Ramakrishna giving through this example, first keep the milk in a quiet place and let it turn into yogurt. Then the yogurt should be extracted from that, the butter. And butter can be kept into the water. And when we are keeping the mind separate from this, that's why they say Nirjan Bash. When you are living in a quiet place, and when you are living in a quiet place, what is happening? You are completely cut off, disconnected with these worldly things. What is happening in the world, you do not know. So rishis and the monks, nuns, they go into solitude, and they only for this, to make the yogurt. The milk means the mind. Go into the solitude, keep it in over there, take the name of God, think about God, listen about God, read about God, and then slowly you become divine. That is, your worldly mind is transforming into a divine mind. And that divine mind, when you keep in the world, no problem. And Sri Ramakrishna giving the example that divine mind means it's the butter. The butter can float. See the unique way he mentioned. Anyone can do it. Only thing, we have to have the clear understanding that this world cannot give us the happiness. And without happiness, we cannot survive. But that is the source of our life. We must have to go back to the source of the happiness. And for that, we have to disconnect our mind, which is connected with our sense organs, to the objects of this world. So give up the world and control your mind, and you get the whole joy. Some members of the Brahmo Samaj say to me, sir, our attitudes toward the world is that of King Janaka. There are maybe many Janakas, but there's a King Janaka. He was from Videha, the Mithila also sometimes they say, the Videha. So they say that he was also known as that, Videha, and Vaidehi, etc., about the Sita. This Janaka. Like him, we want to enjoy the world in a detached spirit. I said to them, to live in the world in a detached spirit is very difficult. By merely saying so, you cannot be a King Janaka. So sometimes we think, after hearing or listening about nowadays, the people are very much attracted towards the abstract Advaita, that is, pure Advaita. And it says that you are that supreme being. You are the source of everything. That is 100% correct. But to reach to that, only thinking won't do. You have to realize that. And to realize that, the practices, when you are working in an office and thinking, I am not the body, I am not the mind, is it possible? Not possible. So you have to think that in what process, how I can reach over there. So Swami Vivekananda, the famous disciple of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he gave us, of course, it was the complete practice of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and he also instructed all the four yogas together. Ramakrishna Mission, the monks and nuns and the followers, devotees, they follow the combination of four yogas: karma, bhakti, yoga and jnana. These are the four always in one life. So these four take us, whatever the attitude comes within our mind, the way the thoughts are, immediately we are utilizing that and going towards the same goal. So that way, the Janaka, he practiced a lot. Then only he could control all his mind. Mind means so many impressions are there, lives after lives, all the impressions on the mind. And they are going on dragging. And then all around us, there are so many things that they are constantly trying to take our minds towards the world. And world is nothing but name and form. This name and form, these two they say, and along with that, taste is also there, touch is also there, smell is also there. These are the 5 things constantly making human mad. Shankaracharya, we will be discussing about the Shankara in our next Sunday discourse, is a great soul. He mentioned, the understanding this, he said, Nara Panchabhi Ranjita Kim. Pancha, that means the animal, the birds, and sometimes the bees, only one weakness they are having, and because of that they are bound in the world. But look at the human. They're having all the 5. The eyes are taking them outside. The ears, they like to hear only the appreciation. If you look around the great leaders, they go mad. Only they like to hear about appreciation. So because of that, it is not his fault, it is a weakness. He's going on, the mind is dragging. And why they should not appreciate me? This way we become mad. And why people should not allow me to do this, allow me to do that? Only 5 things. But make us mad. To control those who try to meditate, those who try to withdraw this, they understand it. And sometimes after you become elderly and old person, then you cannot move properly, you sit in one place, and people think, oh, they are free from all these organs. No, the mind is acting. That person is also going on thinking about this, thinking about that. It is not so easy. That time, externally they are not doing, they cannot do because their body mechanism cannot allow them to. But they do it through mind. One must be careful about that too. So these 2 things, world and the creator of this world. If we want the creator of the world, which is the source of all knowledge, which is the source of all joy, happiness, bliss, we have to give up the world. Again, I just remember, and they say that Jahan Ram, tahan nahi kam. If you want the Rama, the God, then you should not have any desire. And if you have the desire, well, there is no God. That is clear. So as long as desire is there, what should we do? We should work, we should try to control slowly, shanai shanai uparamed buddha dhriti grihitaya. And our buddhi, our intellect should be controlled slowly, slowly. Our mind should be controlled slowly, slowly, because we don't have that power. As Ramakrishna was having, Swami Vivekananda was having, we don't have that. But we'll try, slowly, slowly withdrawing and understanding it. That is why every week we study the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, which is not less than a Veda. It's giving us the knowledge about the truth. And truth is that this world that we see with all the multifarious attractions are actually not there. It is our imagination. And when we go to that, it breaks like in a dream. When we see in the dream so many other things and we think, oh, we are good. That times it breaks and oh my God, I am over here. Same in our life also. We think if we go and get that job, I'll be very happy. Or if I can become like that, I'll be happy. But every time we know, we sometimes we say we are happy, but within our hearts we know that we are not. So that proves that whatever we think and we try to get that, that cannot give us satisfaction, complete happiness. The happiness is the goal. And then we have to hanker for that. If we are true happiness, then these are the practices Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna suggesting. And he is giving the example. Some of the people in those days, there was a great intellectual movement. They tried to save Hinduism in their own way. And they developed the process that is called Brahma Samaj. Our Rabindranath Tagore, he was also a member of the Brahma Samaj, their family. Rabindranath's father, he was also that. So today is the birthday of the Rabindranath Tagore, the Pachishe Baishakh, 25th Baishakh, as a Bengali calendar. So all over the Bengalis, they are celebrating because he is we can say the embodiment of Bengali culture, Rabindranath. Rabindranath also, in one of his poems, he said, I can remember, and not the first line, but from this one or two lines after, which says, Ashankho bandhan maje mohanandamay lobhibo mukti rishad. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is going to give us the idea about the Jivanmukta. And the Jivanmukta, how it is possible, and Videha. The Deha, the Sharira, is not there. So, but it is there. It is living. I am living, talking with people, visiting people, and doing everything a normal life, the human being does when we are doing that. But at the same time, I am not attached to this. That is exactly Rabindranath mentioned in his beautiful poem, Ashankha bandhana maje. There are the multifarious, millions, innumerable bandhana, the bondages are there, innumerable bondages. Sometimes name, sometimes fame, sometimes money, sometimes this physical, the beauty, and so many things. One after another. Of course, they have made it three only. They say Lokaishana, the desire to become popular, Vittaishana, desire to become rich, Lokaishana, Vittaishana, and Putraishana, and for the progeny. And this Putra, that means the progeny, that means children should be there. So these are three, and in these three there are millions of desires are there. In that, living in that, while having all around those things, but that cannot bind me. And that is called mukti. Lobhibo mukti shad. I should get the test of liberation. Though I am with all this, that's called Veera Bhava, the heroic attitude. Why should I go away? That was his attitude. Why should I have to take the sannyasa? I don't need that. I will live in that, but at the same time unattached. Very, very difficult. And exactly those people, the Brahma Samajis, the same faith like the Rabindranath, that group met Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and some of them they told, sir, our attitude towards the world is of King Janaka. But Sri Ramakrishna reminded them how much austerity Janaka practiced, how long he remained in one posture with head down and feet up. He was practicing physically. Sometimes, even if you go to Uttarkashi and other places, the holy places, mainly marked for the austerities for the Hindu monks, you can go and see sometimes people, they're standing on their one feet, one leg, and by that way, going on taking the name of God, or inside the water, up to the chest deep water. They are going on, standing and taking the name of God. Like that, the physical austerity they do. You don't have to practice this extreme discipline, but you need sadhana. You should live in solitude. Very simple, the solution Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is giving, that you cannot do as the Janaka, King Janaka did, or some people they did and doing. It is terribly impossible for you people. But what you can do, go to solitude and discriminate. Whatever I am doing, and my parents also did, grandparents also did, have we truly got the happiness? No. Then in that case, what should I do now? I cannot avoid this. These are the responsibilities I have already taken. Now I am a father. Now I am a husband. Now I am some office that I am maintaining. So I have to go on in that way at the same time. How can I? So mentally, not physically though, mentally, you are detaching yourself. And that is up to you. Externally, people won't understand. But internally, you know that I am not getting connected with this. So go to the solitude. You may lead the life of a householder after having attained divine knowledge and love in solitude. Divine knowledge, what is that knowledge? Only there is one, and that is the Supreme Consciousness, whom we call as God. It is there. And that Supreme Consciousness is the source of eternity, source of happiness, and source of knowledge. Sat Chit Ananda. Existence, knowledge, and bliss. That is the source. And that is the reason we are also having those qualities. So if we want, we can go back to the source. We are already having those qualities. But we have mixed up. That we have to understand and go away. So milk turns into the yogurt only when it is not disturbed. In the beginning, those who like to develop the spiritual life seriously, so what they can do, not when you are working, that won't be possible. You cannot take the long vacation. But after the retirement, you can think about it, because that is the best time. That is called, after the retirement, you are having money, you are having knowledge, and you are having the freedom. So, no, I am not going to go anywhere. I'll be over here, and I like to dedicate. Slowly, you are developing the time for your meditation and taking the name of God. Then doing the services, because your body is perfect. By the grace of God, you are healthy. So give that service to some of the ashramas, go over there, do some voluntary work, spend the time, and constantly thinking of God. Because in the ashrama also there are different type of thought waves. So if you mingle with that, you'll be angry, agitated, liking, disliking. Instead, you go on doing whatever you can do without disturbing others. If you do that, help the ashrama and constantly pray to God, God, I have come to you, please bless me. Take my mind towards you, not to your creation. Enough. I have seen that. That is called knowledge. Now I know that except that consciousness, everything that I see are very, very temporary. Oh Lord, I understood that by your grace. Now take my mind back to you. So this is a devotion, this is a prayer that I am practicing, and I am serving whatever I can do in the ashrama, sometimes cleaning, sometimes cooking, sometimes computer, sometimes accounting, sometimes selling books, whatever the functions they are having, all this I can do without getting attached to those. So that is also karma yoga. And then I am sure there is only God and nothing else. That is the Jnana Yoga. I go and listen to the talk of the Swamis, I read the book, and I am confirmed slowly, yes. Through my knowledge, I have seen, my experience, I have understood that everything is so temporary. So many things were there when I was a child. So many friends, so many neighbors, so many relatives. All have gone. New people, waves after waves, new people came in the life. They became friends, they became relatives, and now they are also going away. So waves like the water waves are coming and going back. So I have understood. So jnana, the karma, jnana, bhakti, and the constant prayer is the dhyana. Awareness about God is dhyana. So by that way, when you can do that? When you are free from your duties. And while you are performing duties, in between if you are doing that, that is also good. By that way you can prepare your mind. And after the retirement, the best time, the Vanaprastha time, get completely detached from. Children have grown up. I need not to go so much to them. So this is the time I should look to me. So look back, look inside, and prepare yourself for the final state, that is sannyasa. Samyak nyasa. Then I give up everything, all attachment. Because when I came to this world, I was not having anything. I knew nothing about this. Who is going to my father, mother, and my children, and my friends, my foes? I never knew. And when the death will come, I'll also not know. I'll leave that. So this is the way if we plan. That is the 4 yogas practicing together. A very unique way. The Ramakrishna mission, they have adopted these 4 yogas. Mostly they declare about one, sometimes only bhakti, sometimes only jnana, sometimes only dhyana, meditation. But combination of all the 4 paths are the best, particularly for the modern age. Because this is the age. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, on account of his detachment from the world, Janaka was also known as Videha. That is one free from consciousness of the body. Videha. Sometimes they say Videha Mukti. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is not mentioning about Videha Mukti. That Videha means no body. That means after death. Mukti is liberation. We perform and we try our best to do good work, and by that way, slowly we accumulate some good result, and then we get the liberation. That is also there, but not in this life. After life, when I pass, I die, then the effect comes. That is called Videha Mukti. B means negative, Deha means this body, and Mukti. But this Deha means is the body, and Vivek Chudamani, the verse number 49, the Shishya, he is asking a question, 7 questions actually. And it begins with Ko Nama Bandha. This is a beautiful question, 7 questions. Ko Nama Bandha. What is this bondage? And Guru, and there's other 6 also. And the Guru was very happy listening to this question. That you have asked a very good question. Because now I am aware about the bondage. I don't know actually what this, but I know this, the bondage is there, so I cannot concentrate my mind on God, on holy thought. Some problem is there. So he is asking, Ko Nama Bandha, what is this bondage? And Guru will be giving the answer in the Vivek Chudamani, it is there. And in one place it says, this is the Majja, Asti, Meda, Pala, Rakta, Charma, Taka. All those ahai, oihi is the bondage for the sharira, this body. Body is the first bondage. And what is this body made of? And it very peculiar, it's very clearly mentioned, majja, the marrow, asti, the bones, meda, the fat, then pala, the flesh, rakta, the blood, charma, the skin, and cuticle, the talk. That is just on the top of the nails is there. So these only are there. And that make this body. And we love this body so much. And when we are loving this body, that to keep this body happy, we need money. And for the money, we do so many different type of work. Sometimes cheating others, sometimes not paying the pauper, the one person working for you. You were supposed to pay him or her sufficient money. You promised that you will give, and then you show no, you have not done this, you have not done that. By that way, you are cheating the poor person who has already given his labor for you. Mainly people, they get money by doing that. When the laborers are working, 10,000 laborers are working in the factory, things are being produced, and then you sell it, you get a lot of profit. But then they become greedy, the owners. They try to reduce the salary. They like to lay off the people. No, we don't need you. But they were there when you wanted the money. Why don't you think in that way? But why I need money? And what you are going to do? I have one car, I need 10 cars. They don't need so many cars, but they will be having these, that. Why? This body. And that is the bondage. Konama bandha. What is the bondage? This body is the bondage. And what is this body? Oh my God, it's useless. But we think this body is so beautiful, and there will be so many things about the beauty of the physical body they will be talking about. People are going on doing nothing wrong, it's good. But those who are thinking seriously about the problem of bondages, of the sufferings, for that, this body is the first obstruction. So one should be very, very careful about it. Not that we should not pay any heed to the body. We must do that. We should keep it. Swami Vivekananda also advised that every day, at least 1 hour, you should do some physical exercises. He and also the first president, we can say, the Raja Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda ji, they were having, all boys, so they were having some instruments so that they used to lift that weight and keeping the muscles good. And then that way, and other Swamis I have seen in the Belur Math, they'll be walking at least 1 hour. Very elderly Swami also, they always follow this routine. And there are some who knows the yoga, the postures, the yoga postures, they practice that. By this way, they keep their body very healthy, try to keep their body healthy, but not attached. Keeping the body healthy is one thing. When getting attached to the body is another thing. And if you are attached to the body, then you are in bondage. Because with the body comes many other things. And it is say, atra anatmani aham iti mati bandha. Now in the 137th verse, he gives the answer, the Acharya, Shankaracharya. When the Shishya, the disciple, asked, Ko nama bandha? What is the bondage? Then the Acharya, the teacher, says, Atra anatmani aham iti mati. What is that anatma? This body. Why it is anatma? It is not conscious. The unconscious things like the wood and the bones and other things. So this body which is anatma, which is we are going to burn it after death, or we are going to bury it after death, and we think this is me. Aham iti mati. I think, oh, this is me. That is the bondage. Bandha. Now, basically, we start from here. Konama bandha. This wrong conception, wrong idea, and that is called ajnana. Ajnana means ignorance. What is that ignorance? We don't know the truth. We very well know the truth. What is this body made of? Those thousands and millions of students who are studying the medical science, they very well know it. But there are many are there, even among the doctors and the medical students. There will be so much attached to the body. They know it, what it is, what is made of. But why? Because that is the karana, that is the cause of suffering. Knowing it, this is the made of thing, but just because it is covered with the skin and we are so much attached to this body. So he says, and how many bodies are there? The Hindus, they will be constantly going on analyzing. You said the body. How many types of body? Here it says there is a shadow body. When you are standing, you have a shadow that is also your body, the shadow body. Image body, you are standing before a mirror and you see the image, reflection, that is also a body. Dream body. In your dream, you are seeing you over there. Though it is not you, but you see that it is me. I am walking, I am talking, I am going, I am doing. So even in the dream, we sometimes sleep also. Oh, I am sleeping now. Even the dream. So that is called dream body. But living body, this is this. And the living body also, there is a lot of, they have analyzed what is this living body. It's called is Annamaya Kosha. Then only not Annamaya, then the Manomaya, Pranamaya, Vijnanamaya, then Anandamaya. There are 5 sets are there, one after another. The first begins with the body that's sustained with the food and drink. Then the mind, then this, that, intellect, etc. So there are so many ways they try to understand this body. Why? This is the main cause of our bondage. Body is not the bondage. The conception that I am this is the bondage. In reality, I am not this. I am the consciousness that is within this. But the mind and reflected consciousness get attached to this body and start thinking that I am this. So after the body become old, they leave. The subtle body goes away with all the impressions and the desires, and the same again happens in the next life. Again another body, again birth, again growing up, again all functioning, all goes on and on. So to stop that, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, first, you have to go to a holy company. And in that holy company, sadhu sangha, satsanga, you should know the truth about this. The science are explaining only this material world. But beyond this, there is another world is also there, spiritual world, the metaphysics. And that metaphysics, that world, also having the consciousness. And if we go over there, understand that source of joy, source of happiness, then a dream breaks. When we think, oh, this is the world, so beautiful, it is the dream only. And when the dream goes away, what remains? That remains. Thou art that. It's as they say, you are that. What is that? Consciousness. You are not the mind. Now somebody says, oh, you have a beautiful dress. Oh, Ishatmananda is a dress. Is that? No, I am not the dress. If they say, oh, Ishatmananda is having, now I am having this, the monk's dress. Sometimes when you go out in America and Europe, we put on the modern European dresses. That means the trousers and the shirt, coat, etc. Am I changed because of the dress? No, I remain the same. People may not recognize me sometimes, but I know who am I. Whether with the gerua or with the western dress, I am Swami Ishatmananda. That consciousness always there. No one can change that. If someone comes over here and writes a 10 pages article, oh, without the gerua, Ishatmananda is not Ishatmananda, well, that cannot help. People may think, people may say whatever. I know who am I, and that is called self-realization. The Guru Vakya, then Shastra Vakya, the scripture, the teachings of the scripture, teachings of your Guru, that can inspire you, guide you. But you have to realize that I am that. I am that consciousness. And that is possible, as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, giving the example of the Videha, that the king Janaka, you have to go in a solitude and forgetting completely about this world and practice sadhana. When you are practicing sadhana, your mind, which was full of different waves, thoughts, that will come down. The moment the mind comes down, that's all. You need not to do anything else. Automatically, you will see the real self. Then you will understand this real self is reflecting within my consciousness reflecting within my buddhi, intellect. And I am thinking that I am. But in reality, I am the source of that consciousness, not the reflection one. I am the sun. My light is reflecting on a piece of mirror. I am that too, but in reality, I am this original sun. So that's why they say Mahavakya, Aham Brahmashmi, and Tattvam-asi. This is a word of realization. I am that. And when through living in the world, he moved about as a Jivanmukta. Another words Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used. Shankaracharya, he mentioned that is the only goal in human life. Jivanmukti sukha prapti hetave janmadharitam. Why this birth? Only to enjoy the life of freedom. I am completely free. The moment one becomes a monk or a nun, and in the truest sense, sometimes we come away and then we live in the organization, but that life, sometimes it becomes a life of another, either a retired man, you can say, retired person, or unmarried people. No, it is not like that. It's full of joy. Whatever is happening all around us is like the drama going on. I enjoy that. Somebody is successful, somebody is not, this thing is happening, that thing is happening. Don't get affected by that. You are Jivanmukta. Why? This thing all around you is nothing but dream. And this is the way the path of knowledge leads you towards the ultimate. This body, as we were discussing, is made of so many materials. Filthy. It is not that. But I am living within this mind, body. So I have to keep this body properly. The car that I use, I have to keep that engine and the car in totality very perfect so that I can drive it. But that is not me. I'm just using that machine for my movement. I'm using this body for my movement. That's all. And I have to keep this body as I am keeping my car always ready, similar. I will go to the gym, I will keep the proper body and everything is, I'll try to live healthy. I should be conscious about the food and drinks. Everything is all right, but not attached at all. And when all people are doing like that, I am not carried away by there. oh, so many people doing this, I should also do that. Nothing like that. And the attractions of the world, that is also, as much as possible, I have understood, but I will perform whatever my consciousness say and my duty, responsibility that I have already accepted. Accordingly, I will perform. And when I am living in this world in that form, I am not bound by anything. That is called Jivanmukta. Then Jivan, life is there, but Mukta, free. And that happiness, when I am alone, I am meditating, seeing the Lord everywhere. I am conscious about everything. So that is the wonderful life. Praising, it's okay. Criticizing, it's okay. Some people like you, some people don't, it's okay. So if it goes on like this, that is called Jivanmukta, a free soul living in a body. But for most people, freedom from body consciousness is something very far off. Intense spiritual discipline is necessary. Intense spiritual discipline is necessary. Sometimes people, they ask, I like to follow the Vedantic path. Welcome. It's really good. It's a very, very scientific way it has developed. But you know, friends, we have to go on practicing. It is not one day that you read a Vedantic book or some of the Upanishads, a few pages of this book or that book, and you become a Vedanti. No. It's a lifelong commitment. In my personal life, it is almost 50 years. 50 years in this monastery. Yesterday, I think day before yesterday, Sunday, someone was asking me, how long in this monastic life? What I have done in this 50 years? Exactly the same thing as I started from the day one. Routine. Same routine. And slowly, slowly, as I am maturing, as I am becoming older, then my ideas are becoming clear about this. So that is called the realization. Am my idea clear about myself, my body, my mind, my thoughts about myself, and at the same time the world I am living with, everything around, very clear idea. And that is called Vedantic way of Vedantic approach to life. The Vedantic approach to life should be very, very practical. But in one day you cannot achieve that. So if you have patience, welcome to practice. If you don't have the patience, I don't know whether you should practice spirituality or not. Because spirituality, it may give you experience in one day. As in the Janakas, the story is there. In a fraction of a second you can get. When a man is riding on a horse, that much time you can get the knowledge of the Brahman. The Ashtavakra Muni told the Raja the same again, Janaka. And for that he had to stay for a long period of time. Then he himself realized it. Ashtavakra Muni took him to the jungle, and Janaka went with his horse, very dear horse. And then the Muni asked, now that I am going to give you the complete knowledge, and the moment you get that knowledge, there is no differences between Guru and Shishya. You all will be the same. So you better give me the gift that a Shishya is supposed to give against the knowledge. Then the Janaka was excited. He said, okay, I give the whole property of mine, this kingdom to you. I am a king, I give the kingdom to you. And not only that, my body, my mind, my soul, everything I give to you. What else can I give it? Then okay, I am satisfied with your gift. But just wait for some time, I am coming back. And he left. Janaka was waiting, thinking, oh, the Guru will come back and give me the mantra. Immediately the revelation will come. I am going to be liberated. He was excited. But hours after hours, Guru is not coming back. Then he became angry. What? I'm the king and he is cheating me? Then again another thought came to his mind. What I am doing? I have given my body, my mind, my soul to my Guru. I don't have any right to think in this way. I don't have mind, because the mind I have already offered to my Guru. Why should I think in this way? I am not supposed to think. So he was, no, I should not think. Let my mind be calm, because I don't have anything with me now. I have already given it to him. And where I am going to go, I have already given the country that I am having to him. In which corner I will go? Nowhere is there left for me. So he became quiet and calm. He stood over there like a stump of a tree. And his mind became tranquil, very calm, because his mind was not thinking anything. And when the mind is not thinking anything, that is the perfect yoga time. And he was actually practicing intense meditation, but by not thinking any worldly thoughts, but concentrating on the knowledge. Who am I? How I am going to attain that? I am not this body. I am not the mind. I am not the property that I am having. And what am I? I am the consciousness. Janaka revealed, and he found that consciousness. He was matured. When the Guru came back, he looked at the Janaka, looked at his eyes, looked at the beaming, the wonderful knowledge, full of knowledge that the face was showing. He said, "You are blessed, my child, you are blessed." So who helped to realize that knowledge? The Shishya himself. So it is depending on you completely, depending on me completely, depending on the practitioner who is deciding that I am going to realize the Brahman. Then when we are going to realize the Brahman or the God, so we first conception, it is true. And second, that is the ultimate goal. And third, problem is my own mind, my thoughts. So eradicate the thoughts, then you are facing the same truth. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, Janaka was a great hero. He feigns to be the two swords, one of knowledge and other of work. Karma and jnana. Then karma and jnana, he is using the karma and at the same time the jnana. Very difficult. But the work that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna mentioning here is not the work that Shankaracharya mentioned. And Shankaracharya in his commentary, he said the karma, the action, can never substitute or help the knowledge. Karma can purify your mind. But then after the purification of the mind, you have to practice knowledge. That means the vichara, that means the discrimination, dispassion, and then concentration. Then only you can realize God. But the karma directly cannot help you. But here the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, the karma means karma yoga. Yoga means you are already united with God constantly, but functioning just as a machine. Then when you are working as a machine, the effect of the good or bad karma, the phala, the result, is not affecting you. This is very clear. And in the Bhagavad Gita also we find the Sri Krishna. The other day in the Bhagavad Gita class we were discussing. He said, Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Karma, Natajyam, Karyameva tat. You should not give up these three. One is Yajna, then Dana, and Yajna, Dana, Tapa. Then the austerity, the practice, that you should not give up. So these three one should continue. This here also he mentioned that he was a hero. Why? Karma, waves after waves it comes. And you go on doing that. And when you are successful, people clapping, appreciating, inviting you, giving you the presentations and then gifts. And you carried away by that. The Loka Ishana, that is also, Loka means popularity. That Bhashana is the subtlest and the last bondage for the holy selves. Those who like to be holy, those who like to go beyond this bondages, that is the last hurdle one has to jump. You may ask, is there any difference between the realization of the two jnanis, one a householder and other a monk? The reply is that the two belong to one class. Both of them are jnanis. They have the same experience. But a householder jnani has reason to fear. He cannot altogether get rid of his fear as long as he live in the midst of the gold, the lust and gold, as long as he is living in the midst of lust and gold. If you constantly live in the room full of soot, you are sure to soil your body, be it ever so little, no matter how clever you may be. After extracting the butter, if you keep it in a new pot, then there is no chance of it getting spoiled. But if you keep it, that butter in a pot where yogurt had been kept, well then, it is doubtful whether it will keep its flavor or not. So Sri Ramakrishna's instance, the examples, are so clear, so perfect. Anyone can understand that. So you have made the butter, and if you put the butter in a new container, the butter with its flavor and taste will be there. But if you put it into that where the yogurt was already there, from the yogurt only you have churned the butter, and if you put that into that old without cleaning, the smell of the yogurt and the taste of the yogurt may spoil the purity of the butter. Similarly, those who are in the worldly life, they may realize Brahman, they can become the jnani, but as long as they are living in the worldly life, obviously, and me and mine attitude will be there. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, when you are choosing a guru, you must choose a guru from the monks, from the nuns, from those who are monastics. Why? Because they are free from all the attachments. They're supposed to be free from all that. But the householder cannot. He's a very good person. But at the same time, me and mine may remain there. Thank you, friends. The beautiful discussion Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he taught us in this way. One is the Videha, that is the body conscious, free from the body consciousness, and another is the Jivanmukta. So these two we have learned from him today. So thank you. We will continue next Wednesday from here itself. Any question?
Abhishek Banerjee is asking, is it possible to combine jnana and bhakti as they are opposite to each other?
Oh no, jnana and bhakti are not opposite. Who said? This is, even the Shankaracharya, he is mentioning, the bhakti means the one-pointed devotion. But when you are that one-pointed devotion, a concentrated devotion, you are putting to a particular god or goddess, or to or Atma Jnana, or the consciousness, then a little difference, that's all. If you think that the Krishna is my object of meditation, and you forget everything and concentrating on Krishna. And after the realization, you will see Krishna everywhere and everything within him. In Bhagavad Gita itself it says, Yo mam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mai pashyati. Everything outside that you see is nothing but the Krishna, and Krishna is present in everything. That means only one. But you think that one as a particular personality, that's all. And the Vedanta, you'll also say one, which is consciousness, that's all. The same thing. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna also said, both are same. Thank you.
So there's a YouTube user, her name is Sadhika. She is asking how to practice to keep mind without thoughts sitting in one place for at least half an hour.
Good question. Actually, this is the practice, Sadhika. This is the practice. If you have taken the initiation, then as per your guru, as per the object of worship, you can concentrate on that. If you have not, then as the students, they usually do, you can see a light within your heart. And it's not the physical heart. You have to imagine a lotus, and on the center of the lotus there is a light burning, and you are just concentrating on that. Then slowly you forget the lotus, you see the lamp only, lamp with the stand of the lamp. Then slowly you don't see the stand of the lamp, it is only the lamp. And then you remove the lamp, only the flame. And when you look at the flame and you see that light is everywhere, all pervasive. You don't have the body. You don't have the building that you are, or the room you are sitting. All pervading everywhere, that light. If you can practice for a few minutes like this, mind will be calm. Thank you.
Maurice is asking, my physical body suffers from some chronic pains. He is listening to your talks through the YouTube considered holy company. I find tremendous joy and peace when I listen to talks about God.
Oh, that's very good. When you hear about God and get the joy, that means you have already developed Sattva Guna. Because in the Bhagavata, that Lord Sri Krishna, he mentioned when someone asked him, Uddhava asked him, how I will know that I am developing the best quality that will lead me to God? That is called Sattva Guna in Sanskrit. Then he said, when you will find joy in listening to my words, my stories, that means you have developed Sattva Guna. Friend, you have already developed the Sattva Guna. Now, of course, the physical pain, it is there, and you have to consult with the doctor, medicine, therapy, whatever. But your mind, you try to focus on that. I will tell you a personal thing. I am so much afraid of a dentist when he asking the opening the mouth, and then the roaming something she is putting inside the mouth. I feel, oh my God, what will happen? But I put my mind to my God, my mother, the Ma Sharadamani Devi, the Divine Mother, and I always think that image. She is sitting, I am keeping my head on her lap, and she is like the mother. She is just with her beautiful hand, she is touching me, and there is no pain at all. Then after some time, when the doctor says, oh, thank you, now you're good, you can go, then I get her. So that period, you go into meditation and you are free. Sometimes you feel pain, sometimes something happened, but immediately. So the fear of pain, physical pain, will go if you try to meditate in that way. Thank you, friends. Thank you for listening. And let us chant this mantra, and then we will say a Shanti, 3 times Shanti, and we conclude for this weekend. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishabataram parameshamidyam tvam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.